your unit respond to accident scene. Take command of rescue and clearing problem. QSL 860. Wreckers, crane, and other emergency vehicles are en route. All units, South District 1240 has intercepted wanted 68 Chevy at Southwest 112th Street and 3rd Avenue.
Right. Cut. Cut. Sponge, please. Cut. You have the sector ready?
I'm doctor.
All right.
Well, how are we coming along? It looks like they got you a little tied up here, doesn't it? Well, in just a moment, everything will be fine. Just relax. Relax, don't get excited, because everything is going to be just perfect. Understand? Everything's going to be just perfect. Relax. Now listen, only take a second, and I'll be out of your way. Yes. Well, get in the way of your convalescence. There we are. Now, that didn't take long, did it? This must be quite uncomfortable. Quite uncomfortable. Hello. This is an emergency. Bombs. Am I being recorded at this very moment? I am. That's fine. That's fine. My name is Jones. Now get this. Room 627 is immediately beneath the main surgery facility, the Parkway Hospital. At this moment, a man named Garcia is undergoing open-heart surgery. And from what I understand, this procedure is going to take about 3 hours, give or take a few minutes either way. You got that? Now look, at the bomb I placed is near the ceiling of room 627. Yes, that's correct. Now, wait, hold it, don't run. I'd like to describe the bomb for you. The explosive is a charge of 20 pounds of 75% DuPont extra. Extra, that's right.
A clock arming delay is just now activated, a clock firing delay. There are 2 pressure release micro switches on the bomb. A trimmer switch, a thermal biometallic switch.
Sounds legitimate.
32 degrees.
Yeah, sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
Wired in parallel.
Now look, as I add it all up here, you've got roughly about 2 hours and 10 minutes to deactivate it. or to pay me $100,000 in cash to tell you how to turn it off. Get the picture?
You got $100,000?
Give me a raise.
Now, look, I'll call you back at the hospital after you've examined the bomb. And listen, friend, this is the real thing.
Let's go see what we got.
The bomber you have just heard may be a madman, a fool, a professional saboteur, a fraudulent exploiter, an extortion expert, or a mild-mannered electronics engineer gone off his rocker. As much as that may matter later, what matters now is the harm he can do, purposely or accidentally, and the lives he can take in an unholy pursuit of the awful explosion. An explosion is a sudden going of one place to someplace else. There are three kinds of explosions. This mechanical explosion was caused by moisture in concrete. The most common explosion is of a chemical nature, caused by the initiation of a compound or mixture which undergoes a rapid chemical change, resulting in a large amount of gaseous pressure, heat, and a loud report. This is a 5-room house and the effect of 50 pounds of dynamite. The third classification of explosions is atomic. Explosives are unstable chemical compounds found in solid, liquid, or gaseous forms, which when properly initiated, decompose or explode. The speed with which an explosive compound decomposes determines its type. These are called low explosives because they do not normally explode violently unless properly confined. They are burning explosives such as black powder. Smokeless powder. Potassium chlorate mixed with sugar and sulfuric acid. Metallic sodium, which detonates when mixed with water. Ballastite. Confined and unconfined firecrackers. These are high explosives. Military TNT, dynamite, C3 and C4 plastic explosives, primacord, and nitrocarbonitrate. They are relatively insensitive to heat, shock, or friction, and are used ordinarily as main bursting charges. Fertilizer and kerosene will work in that category. Detonate a cord with the power of a high explosive along its entire length. Dynamite. A booster charge of TNT and PETN. Nitrocarbonitrate. Kinetic explosives like Astropac and liquid high explosives. Military TNT. C3. C4. Flex X. To appreciate Mr. Jones's bomb and its true capabilities, a bomb specialist seeks to understand the type of explosive used by the bomber. In his extortion demand, Jones described the bomb as containing 20 pounds of 75% DuPont extra. The percentage figure indicates the nitroglycerin content of the dynamite, generally from 20 to 75%.
Parallel. You got all that?
This duplicate case contains the type and the amount of dynamite indicated by Jones. If the manufacturer of Jones' car isn't lying, and the car is in working order, the turning of this key will set in motion a series of mechanical and chemical reactions which will propel the car down the street and away from the scene before he can be detected. This is ignition. He may be miles away, even hours away, when conveniently his homemade invention will rip out the walls of a building for which he has no use. Ignition is one means of initiating a bomb. The same kind of ignition that started this car, an electrical charge reaching explosive vapors. Simple. The firecracker was initiated by flame, as you light a fuse on a bomb. In all bombs, there must be an initiating action which will start a chain of events leading to the explosion. Jones knows how the bomb works. Bomb specialists will have to find out the hard way. This is a basic propellant firing train. The ignition of the flash compound will in turn explode the propelling charge. In this case, the flash compound inside the detonator is ignited and in turn provides the heat and pressure to explode the booster, which in turn sets off the main charge. Here, the battery-charged clock hand will touch a contact closing a circuit, causing current to flow to a detonator. And it's a time bomb. To deactivate a bomb, any bomb, you must interrupt the firing train. At some point, someone has to turn it off. Somehow. Or it blows. Simple. And as Mr. Jones suggested, it can get more complicated. Bombing, like the sending off of rockets on the 4th of July or the launch of a spacecraft, is an anticipatory event. Only the date and place need be announced to draw a crowd, to gain attention, to extort, coerce, to kill. It is a heinous crime, perpetrated successfully by scheming and often intelligent persons, professional terrorists, men to whom the act of creating fear is joy, to whom these moments provide a strange and compelling sense of power. Only the imagination of the perpetrator can limit the certainty and extent of the crime. The saving of human life is the bomb specialist's essential goal. It is also the goal of any officer on the scene. Dismantling or deactivation of a bomb should never be attempted when there is jeopardy to persons other than those duty-bound to perform. In dealing with managers and businessmen, even with a hospital administrator, it may be difficult to impress them with the true potentialities of a bomb. Business may be affected by evacuation. The panic of a disorganized evacuation may cause more harm than good. Tact is the officer's best offense. Arguments of liability, warrants, emergency powers are all to be measured against time. The time of a bomb. Jones was right. A man named Garcia has his chest wide open in the room above 627.
My God, man,
He can't be moved for 2.5 hours. You never know. It could be a hoax. But there's an unofficial feeling. If a caller simply says, "There's a bomb," and hangs up, it's usually a fake. The more precise the call, the more likely it's real. Mr. Jones' only lie was probably his name.
Yes.
Bomb specialist or rookie policeman, one phrase can someday ring true in your ear.
I don't
Duty bound. You might have a terrible bomb 30 feet from people who cannot be moved. Or you might have 5 empty tuna fish cans wrapped in chicken wire. That simple difference is the name of the game. There are very few buildings which cannot be evacuated. Very few rooms. And no room, no building is worth a human life, if the life can be moved.
You got about an hour and a half. A little less, maybe. What do you think?
We're going to fluoroscope it. We requested your money. Is that all right? We have some questions about the bomb we want to ask you.
Now, look.
No equipment you have will help. But don't let me discourage you. I'll call you back.
Many small departments are stuck with the essential tools you see here. A 100-foot length of quarter-inch rope, a non-sparking knife, and wire cutters of the same material. These are the most important tools of the bomb disposal technician. But other equipment is recommended and is in use. This bomb carrier has been successfully tested with 20 pounds of 40% nitroglycerin dynamite. The design of the carrier directs the force of the explosion upward from the sand-lined bottom of this 3/4-inch thick boiler-like container. The purpose of the truck is to transport a bomb safely from the scene to a place where it may be dismantled, stored, deactivated, or blown without injury to persons or property. There are other types of bomb carriers available, each with its own characteristics. There's only one rule about bomb carriers. If you have one available, take it with you on every call. Never leave it behind. You never know what you have until you get there. This truck contains everything from a box of tongue depressors to an armored suit and an X-ray machine. Like an ambulance or a fire truck, the bomb carrier is a professional vehicle, equipped and maintained to deal with the widest range of emergency situations. As expensive as it may be, it can't think. Duty-bound may mean a suit of armor and sophisticated equipment, or it may mean a hunk of clothesline, a pocket knife, and some wire cutters in the hands of a dedicated and properly frightened policeman. Either way, duty-bound is no place for ignorant heroism. Professional bomb specialists work alone. Special assistants, patrolmen, detectives, and all other personnel assigned remain at safe distance unless absolutely required. The reason for this is simple. If the bomb goes, this man will need immediate first aid. Any officer who handles a bomb should have someone standing by to pick up the pieces. An open bomb is one where some of the parts are visible to the naked eye. A closed bomb, one like this one, is the worst. The portable fluoroscope, or X-ray machine, is an expensive item that takes some of the mystery out, But there are some bombs constructed to be radiation sensitive. And if you fluoroscope them, they go up. Mr. Jones wasn't that nasty.
The explosive is a charge of 20 pounds of 75% DuPont extra. Right. A clock arming delay has just now activated a clock firing delay. There are 2 pressure release micro switches, a tremor switch, a thermal bimetallic switch for 32 degrees, and a collapsible relay wired in parallel.
But he was nasty enough.
Yes, sir. Room 627. Yes, sir. Parkway General Hospital. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Could you hold on just a moment, please? Shift commander, this dispatch. We have a bomb threat at Parkway General Hospital, room 627. It sounds authentic. Yes, sir, Parkway General.
Every effective American police department should have a tactical plan which at this moment goes into effect.
Bomb squad, this dispatch.
If it hasn't a plan, at this point it's probably too late to get one.
You want to listen to it?
In the absence of a plan, the work of bomb disposal will more often than not fall to the inexperienced hands of a bold but foolish patrolman. The responsibility of coordinating police, fire, military, and civilian energies at the instant a bomb threat is received is the first second in a race against time. There are known bomb specialists available for telephone consultation. There are Army Explosive Ordnance personnel also available to the department or officer suddenly stuck with it. There is help if there is time. The first police officer on the scene of a located bomb should order the immediate evacuation of all persons to a place at least 300 feet from the bomb. Bystanders should be kept away from windows, even in a seemingly safe area. Unless duty-bound, unless there are no other trained personnel available, unless the fuse is lit and you're it, no police officer should touch a suspected bomb or explosive. Move the people away from the bomb. Never move the bomb away from the people. These are the rules for handling suspected packages. Don't submerge in water. Don't attempt to open a package by hand. Don't cut a string or unlatch a box or suitcase by hand. Don't turn a box or cylinder by hand. Don't puncture or cut into a box. Don't accept identification markings on a package or box. Don't pass metallic tools over a package. Don't work more than one man near the bomb. Don't cut any wires. Don't open pipe caps by hand. Don't be a hero. Except for one little hitch, the uniformed officer has done everything he should do. Evacuate, call for the assistance of a specialist, aid in the coordination of fire, police, and civilian efforts, leave the bomb alone. That is the correct procedure here. Except for one little hitch.
Now what do you think?
All units, South District 1240 has intercepted wanted 68 Chevy at South
Hello. Me again. You getting any smarter?
Only the imagination of the perpetrator.
Is undergoing open heart and a collapsible relay wired in parallel.
Duty bound is that lonely moment when what they're paying you for is collectible.
Room 627. Garcia. Upstairs, remember? Now, you've got an hour and 10 minutes.
An explosive firing train is a sequence of events, mechanical or chemical, or electrical, by which a bomb may be initiated. To deactivate a bomb, someone must physically interrupt the firing train. The initiating action of an explosive device is extremely important. If you know what will trigger a bomb, often you can protect against it ever being exploded. And by interrupting the firing train, you can disarm the device.
Don't get the idea that all this interrupting the firing train is something to do off the top of your head, because it's not. There's a man's hand, or what's left of it, in a glass jar. Everybody who works in the bomb disposal field knows of someone, friends of his, who blew it. They thought it was a simple bomb, and they pulled something, or picked something up, or cut something. And the next thing you know, they were blown to smithereens, just like that.
We aren't talking about military explosives now. We're talking about the nasty devices people make in their kitchens, basements, and attics. These people can be tricky, and they can make hellish devices. And they like bombs because a bomb has two excellent features. A good bomb will destroy all the evidence, and the guy who did it can be miles away when his homemade gimmick goes up.
There are 3 ways he can initiate his bomb. This is the most popular: time. There are 4 types of time delay: burning, like the cigarette to the matches to the fuse, or corrosive, an acid eating through a metal to reach a chemical, which explodes on contact, or electrical, which uses batteries to close a relay, and mechanical, like the simple old alarm clock, which can be wired electrically and used in many different ways to explode the package. Time is one means of initiation. Build a better bomb, and a mousetrap will beat it to death. This is an example of motion as a means of initiation. You take a mousetrap, you wire the guillotine here and here. If you put the trap in a cigar box, allowing a lid to hold it open, and someone opens the box, you've got contact.
The object of a motion-initiated bomb is to bring 2 objects into contact: 2 electrical wires, 2 chemicals, or a firing pin into a cartridge. Pressure applied downward, upward, right or left will do it. Tilting will do it. A ball bearing can slide to make contact. A mercury switch can roll over to make contact. Motion initiation is an anti-disturbance device, better known as a booby trap.
You take an ordinary clothespin. You wire it here and here. You wedge it open. Tie a string to the wedge. Walk away, pull on the string, boom. Or someone trips on the string. Or opens a suitcase. Or a drawer. Or a package. Or a door. And boom.
Remote control is the 3rd way a bomb can be initiated. A clothespin can do it, or a radio signal from a garage door opener can do it, or a phone call. It's the same thing. someone removed to safety blows someone or something to hell, remotely.
Believe me, the possibilities are endless.
Only the imagination of the perpetrator can limit the certainty and the extent of the crime. Bimetallic strips, which can be obtained from toasters or steam irons, will bend as heat or cold is applied and cause contact. It's a thermal switch. Ordinary balloons, which will expand as an airplane gains altitude, can be devised to force two metal contacts together. A barometric switch. An ordinary nail extended into an ordinary washer, wired so that when a package is tilted or jarred, contact is made. A vibratory or tremor switch. This is an anti-probe circuit made of household aluminum foil separated by a piece of paper. By piercing the layers, the knife completes the contact. A test tube containing metallic conductor, copper sulfate, is immersed in water. It disintegrates the copper sulfate, making the water a conductor. Contact is made. It's an anti-submerge circuit. Or simple sodium placed inside the bomb will detonate on contact with the water. A small home recorder microphone can conduct sound to a sensitive relay. Closing circuits, and an acoustic switch has been employed. Magnets can trigger a bomb when a metallic object is moved across a package. Or a photoelectric cell, sensitive to light or darkness, can do it. This tone can open up the sky. All it needs is a sensitive receiver. A man who places a bomb is like a man who pulls a gun.
You have less than 1 hour. What do you think now?
Using battery power here and lead wires running to a detonator and main charge here, you need only the switch here, and you have a bomb.
This clock arming delay, which permits the bomber to place his bomb safely because it isn't hot until this circuit's closed. It turns everything else on. This clock firing delay is a simple time bomb. When this hand reaches this contact, the bomb goes. The bomber counts on this as his principal firing train. However, he's been very cautious. This is a tremor switch. If you move the package a few degrees, you get contact and it fires. This is a pressure release switch. Open the package, release the pressure, and this closes. And down here is a mercury tilt switch. You pick up the package, tilt it, and it goes. Very dangerous arrangement of elements to which any number of other devices could be attached. And it's a collapsible circuit. If you cut any of these wires, you're certain to close the clock firing delay switch. Pick any wire you want. Here, cut it. And you can just say, bye-bye. Of all the bombs you'll ever see, the electrical fuse is probably the nastiest. With miniaturized batteries, you can build a bomb into a cigarette package or into a marking pen. Not very straightforward, is it?
This is a straightforward bomb. Dynamite, a dynamite cap, wires and alligator clips, one a ground, and the other attached to the distributor cap. Start the car, and amateurs sometimes attach the alligator clip to a spark plug and it doesn't work. Often they place the dynamite on the engine block and the passenger lives. But pros put the dynamite on the firewall opposite the driver or under the seat or the gas tank. That usually does it. Very straightforward. This is a pipe bomb. Not too complicated. It's divided into two chambers. One half black powder. The other half contains the mechanism. Wristwatch wired to two miniature batteries. When the clock hand closes the circuit, You get this. From 1941 to 1957, a New York man placed 33 of these in public places. It took 17 years to catch him, and they called him mad. You can also light a pipe bomb with an ordinary fuse. Some people like to put a burned fuse in one so that when you pick it up, assuming it's a dud, a mercury switch inside goes off, killing you. Or you can turn the caps and powder lodged in the threads can ignite the bomb. A bomb may be delivered by being placed, dropped, thrown, or projected. Mr. Jones, unlike clandestine bombers, found it to his advantage to place his device in plain view. Most do not. The most common places for bombs in public buildings are outside near the entrance, the first floor, bathrooms, storerooms, and waste receptacles. Searching for bombs in large buildings, warehouses, air and ground terminals presents special problems. Modern tactical search plans are best implemented when employees familiar with specific areas conduct their own search and advise the police when something suspicious is discovered. Whenever fire drill or civil defense evacuation exercises can be employed, the job of removing people is vastly simplified. Every business and institution should have a pre-plan. Factories and assembly plants can be cleared in minutes if a good tactical search and evacuation system is devised in advance. An automobile search is one of the most difficult and most dangerous an officer can conduct. The number of opening, turning, pulling, and pushing devices which could be employed as initiators is almost endless. The most common automobile bomb is attached to the firewall on the driver's side, but it could be anywhere. The opening of a door, glove compartment, window could do it. Because it contains gasoline, the automobile bomber sometimes creates a fire as well as an explosion. Evacuation panic should be avoided at all costs. Many departments prefer that the people being removed think of the event as a simple drill. Panic and unnecessary danger to all concerned is best served if a police command post is removed from the actual bomb location. From this position, backup procedures can be coordinated. Fire and rescue, ambulance and medical assistance, and cooperation from public utilities can continue within safe range. The size of the explosive charge indicates the damage to be anticipated. In most instances of a package bomb blast, bystanders should be removed to a distance of 300 feet to ensure safety. When all is ready, some one man becomes suddenly duty-bound. Once the bomb has been found, several protective measures can be employed. By venting the building, opening doors and windows, blast damage can be minimized. Sandbags and mattresses can be used to buttress and baffle, and windows of adjacent buildings can be taped to lessen breakage. None of this is of much advantage to the man who faces the bomb. To him, it's one-on-one. This package may contain a sophisticated pattern of initiating devices, or it may be a simple bomb, or it may be nothing at all. To find out what it isn't is the name of the game. Whether by using this fishhook and line, or a grappling hook, or a long pole, the object is to disturb the package remotely from a safe distance. The officer is like a medical diagnostician. Each of his actions serve to eliminate possibilities. By tumbling, he knows that there is no anti-motion switch. That simple lifting, turning, or tilting will not activate it, and that it was not a booby trap for another device beneath it. Having moved the bomb remotely, an officer now has choices open to him which depend largely upon the equipment available and his experience. He can hear a clock, by using this medical stethoscope, or by placing his ear against the package to determine if he's racing against a clock delay. If he isn't, his possibilities have been greatly improved. If he is, and he is duty-bound, he might attack the mechanism in an attempt to interrupt the firing train by stopping the clock.
Gaining access to and rendering safe procedures all present special problems. Even in the hands of a trained specialist, they can be tricky and fatal. You, as an untrained police officer, should never attempt them.
The uniformed officer's responsibility is the protection of life, including his own. In some instances, he may be able to protect property without endangering lives. If so, he may remove the package remotely to an open area. Once here, depending upon circumstances, equipment, and the officer's training, a number of things can be done. The package could be transported to a disposal range in a bomb carrier. It could be blown in place. A specialist might be able to gain access and dismantle the bomb remotely. Once here, the uniformed officer has more than done his duty. A suspected package may be opened by firing a 12-gauge shotgun remotely toward its hinges or locks. It can be ripped apart remotely with grappling hooks or ice tongs. Freezing. Using a fire extinguisher, liquid nitrogen, or other devices can lower the firing power of batteries and permit deactivation. This military time pencil is a corrosive delay. A common saboteur's device can be deactivated by inserting a pin in the inspection holes. The pin of a duty-bound policeman's badge has been used. And that's the point. A man can be so intent upon his duty that he will extend his sanity and reach beyond his capability with makeshift devices and foolish plans. What he forgets, he may never again remember. Don't put in water. Don't transport inside buildings. Don't shock or jar. Don't open. Don't cut string. Don't turn cylinders. Don't handle. Don't shake. Don't unscrew cap or cover. Don't lift cover. Don't smoke. Don't expose to heat. Don't use metallic tools. Don't accept markings. Don't place near flammables. Don't have unnecessary personnel. Don't touch unless duty-bound.
It's real all right. That's a bad son of a bitch. I don't think I can do anything with it.
Duty-bound is a wide-open space between the reasonable and the insane, while wisdom, training, procedure, and self-preservation say don't. Time may whisper the lonely conclusions of an awful responsibility.
What do you think now? You've only got a half hour.